Humans spend roughly a third of our lives asleep, and up to 2 hours every night paralyzed in the dark, experiencing vivid, immersive hallucinations. For most of human history, people assumed these nightly visions were direct messages from the gods, or glimpses into the future. Then, Sigmund Freud proposed a different explanation. He argued that dreams were actually the manifestation of our repressed desires and hidden neurotic anxieties. The philosopher Immanuel Kant even took this line of thinking to its extreme, suggesting that a person dreaming is essentially a sleeping madman. For centuries, we categorized these experiences as either supernatural whispers or symptoms of a diseased mind. But both of those perspectives completely missed the biological imperative occurring behind our closed eyelids. The leap toward hard biology happened in 1961, when sleep researcher William Dement published a study titled Dream and Stay Sane. Dement uncovered something alarming. If you systematically wake a person up every time they enter a dream state, allowing them to sleep but preventing them from dreaming, they rapidly begin to experience severe cognitive breakdown, approaching clinical insanity, which raises a massive biological question. Why did human evolution program mandatory nightly hallucinations as a strict requirement for survival? Dreaming functions as an active, aggressive defense mechanism designed to prevent total cognitive collapse. To understand how this defense mechanism works, we have to look back to the 1950s. Researchers began using the EEG, a machine that measures electrical activity in the brain, to peer into the physical mechanics of the sleeping mind. They discovered a stark, measurable difference between standard quiet sleep, known as NREM sleep, and the chaotic, hyperactive state we call rapid eye movement, or REM sleep. The slow, rolling waves of deep sleep suddenly give way to a violently active state. During REM, the brain fires almost as if you were awake. Because of this, it initiates atonia, a biological state where the brain chemically paralyzes your major muscle groups. Your brain deliberately paralyzes your physical form so it can safely run a high-fidelity, full-immersion virtual reality simulation without you acting it out and getting hurt. Inside the skull, this simulation is generated by two distinct regions, the primitive lower brainstem and the highly advanced cerebral cortex. During REM sleep, the primitive brainstem indiscriminately fires random electrical signals and raw emotional impulses upward into the void of the sleeping mind. The cerebral cortex, which manages our logic and memory, receives this chaotic biological noise and desperately tries to stitch the random pulses into a coherent, linear story. What we experience as a cohesive narrative is really just our highest cognitive centers doing their best to impose order on a flood of random neurological data. The brain utilizes this simulated environment to execute 3 specific tasks, beginning with memory consolidation. This flowchart illustrates how the brain sifts through the massive amount of data we take in during the day. It actively deletes the useless noise and filters the data to lock the vital experiences into long-term memory. The second function is emotional therapy. While locked in the neurochemically safe state of REM sleep, the brain processes the emotional weight of recent events, smoothing out the sharp edges of stress and trauma. The third function is threat simulation. Even nightmares serve an evolutionary purpose, allowing us to practice our responses to real-world dangers in a zero-risk environment. Dreams act as a nightly software update. They defragment our memories, debug our emotional traumas, and run antivirus threat simulations so we can function the next day. We can stop thinking of dreams as weird glitches or meaningless illusions. They represent the highest application of human imagination and creativity. It is an ongoing process of self-communication. The waking mind and the sleeping mind are simply 2 different phases of the exact same consciousness, talking to itself. The bizarre, immersive movies playing in our heads every night are hard proof of our brain's relentless, solitary effort to keep us sane, grounded, and undeniably human.